My mic was muted. I just tried talking. Hello. Dropped my goddamn phone. So unprofessional. You guys like my dolphin sign in the back? It's not. Doesn't look the best. I don't know. I got to figure out how to get that thing focused. But what's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. All right. What's going on? Dak or Hurts this week? What's going on? Looking for the most upside, obviously. I would go Hurts personally. What's going on? I need a crucial flex decision. Running back Warren to lock it down, and we're already out of focus. Like the stream starts fucking a minute ago, and I'm already out of focus. So you just love to see it, honestly. This is the best camera ever. You spend $180 on a camera, and it just doesn't want to focus on me. Maybe I'm too ugly, It's like, let's focus on the fucking microphone sitting in front of you. Anyway, so I'll move the microphone down a little bit. That should fix things, hopefully, but it won't, obviously. Oh, there we go. All right, Warren, Lockett, Downs, or Hill. I would go with Warren. Notorious Fantasy, McBride, or Freiermuth. I would go with McBride. Hurts and Dak are number one and number two. Yeah, that is really tough. I definitely lean with Hurts personally, just because I trust him a little bit more. But again, it's not really by like some crazy wide margin or anything. Hey, what a wonderful time of day. Crack a cold one and smoke them if you got them. It's time, baby. Let's go. What's up, Spock? How you doing? What's up, Caitlin? I went 5 and 7 back-to-back weeks, kicking some ass. Love to see it. 5 of 7. Great to see. My teams have been, again, I kind of talk about this every week. My team is either amazing or terrible in every single league. Like, I don't really have any mid teams. Like, my teams have been this year, I guess, based upon how I drafted, maybe because on some of the teams where I didn't get the guys that I really liked, my team's kind of mid, and then, or not even mid, just bad. Like, I have one team that's really bad, and it's like kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. Yeah, I can't believe it's week 13 either. What's going on, Jonathan? What's up, Don? What's up, Sleep Deprived Animator? How you guys doing? Puka or DK and Browns D or Chiefs D? I would go with Puka, and I'm going with the Browns D. Good evening, Jeff. How you doing? I hope you had a great day. I did. Everett or Kraft? I would go Everett. What's up, Daniel? How you doing? Full PPR, Dak or Tua? I'm going Dak. McBride or Ferguson? I'm going McBride. Kyron or White? BTW. Kyron. Cooks tonight or Rice in the snow? Do we really believe it's going to snow on Sunday? NFL weather. See, look, I'm not a weatherman. I'm not going to claim to be a weatherman. I'm not going to claim to understand how the fuck the weather works. But I don't really trust the weather on Thursday when the game's on Sunday. It's a slight chance of rain. I'm leaning towards Rice, if I'm being honest with you. PPR, let me close this out because, again, it makes my face super white. I look like Casper the Ghost. PPR, pick 2 for the flex. Lockett, Dotson, Connor, and Javonte Williams. Let's go Javonte Williams. Let's go Lockett and Dotson. We going Flacco over Geno? Joe Flacco. Nah, we're going to go with Geno Smith. I fucking hate Geno Smith, but we have to go with him. Hope you guys smash that like button on the stream. I got to pull that one thing up. But we'll do that in a second. We're in no rush here. Stream started 5 minutes ago. We're not in any type of hurry yet. Definitely don't start Flacco this week if he plays. I like Flacco. I'm a Joe Flacco guy. But at the end of the day, you should not be starting Joe Flacco. Jacuzzi or Charbonnet. Definitely Charbonnet. Cup had an issue with his ankle yesterday in practice. No one's talking about it, but keep it in mind. Yeah, I saw that being talked about on Twitter earlier today. He says he's going to play. Look, Cup at this point in the season is really worrying me. Now, would I cut Cooper Kupp off my team? Of course not, right? We're at the point in the season where you can't really make a trade. So, yeah, I would still hold on to Kupp. But what I will tell you is that I definitely prefer Puka this week. If you had Puka and Kupp, I would much rather play Puka over Kupp. Matthew Stafford looked really good last week. But again, I think that's almost a little bit Fugazi because that's not really like that. That's the Arizona Cardinals he's playing up against, right? It's not like some real defense. And Stafford has been kind of on the struggle bus this year, if we're keeping it 100, as they would say. All right, so I got to start the poll. Did you hit the like button? Yes or no? Boom. That's the poll. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep grinding, baby. Love or Goff? I would go with Love. If Dell is out, do I start Jamar, Ridley, or Kirk, I'd go Ridley, and I would go Jamar and Ridley. What's up, Brian? How we doing? If Dell is out, do we really think Dell's going to be out? I don't know. I really think Dell's going to play, but we'll see. We shall see here. Amari Cooper today said about Joe Flacco, his dropbacks are poetry in motion. Of course, man. Joe Flacco's elite. Everyone knows that. So I would go Puka personally. No, I'd go Nico Cousin. Let's go bowling. Who do I start? Howell or Minshew? Definitely Howell. Josh Downs or Deontay Johnson, standard league. I'd go Deontay Johnson. Murray or Pickett. I'm going Murray. Mason says, Raiders. Sorry if I woke anyone up that was sleeping. There's no way anyone's falling asleep, though, during these streams. They're just too fun for someone to be sleeping, right? Gibbs or Hall? Definitely going Gibbs. Fuck, who did I rank higher? Because now I'm going to sound like an asshole. I think I ranked Gibbs higher, so I'm going Gibbs. They are close, though. All right. All right, sorry, I'm just answering some of the Patreon questions. Again, no one has to be a Patreon. If you are a Patreon member, though, you can always ask questions in either the DMs or on the posts. It's $7.50 a month to join the Patreon. So I would go ahead and join that if you want. Again, you don't have to join that. You could just ask your question in chat. You can ask in the comments. I try to answer as many questions as possible. Anyone that looks at the comment section would realize that a lot of these videos I make have 150, 200 comments, and it makes it a little bit harder to answer all of them. So Barter Mania, I think you were the first question over Persian Assassin. I don't want to jump over one another. I just saw that you super chatted, so I went over here. So if Olave is out, flex Tyreek Hill or Brian Robinson. That is a great question. Tyreek Hill or Taysom Hill, I would assume that is, or B-Rob, because if that was Tyreek Hill, obviously it's Tyreek Hill, but it's clearly not Tyreek Hill because then it wouldn't even have been a question, right? You would not have spent you $2 here asking a question on Super Chat. So for me, if that's Bijan Robinson, I think it's Brian Robinson. I would go with Bijan Robinson. But if that's Brian Robinson or Taysom Hill, I would go ahead and go with Taysom Hill. Because of the fact that, again, there's a lot of injuries to these wide receivers on the Saints offense, even if Olave was to play, right? And again, in your scenario, it doesn't matter because if Olave plays, Olave is your flex. But even if Olave plays, you have to think about this. This is a team that is dealing with a shit ton of injuries. Their best receivers on Sunday will be if Olave doesn't play, it's Alvin Kamara. I think Jawan Johnson's the second best, and then A.T. Perry, Keith Kirkwood. So Taysom Hill is going to be seeing a shit ton of touches in this game. He might throw a touchdown. He could run in a touchdown, catch a touchdown, right? He is going to be very involved in the game plan. Now, I fully understand that Taysom Hill is a much bigger risk than Brian Robinson. The Dolphins defense later on in the game, maybe they get pounded out by the Commanders, but I genuinely do believe that Taysom Hill is the answer. He is a very high upside play this week. He's a guy that I want to get in my lineup in a majority of leagues. So I'm personally going with Taysom Hill. Look, if you want to be as safe as possible, go ahead and play Brian Robinson. But that's not what I'm looking for, right? Because I know damn well against the Dolphins, Brian Robinson might score 7 fantasy points because the Dolphins defense has been so much better against the run, against the pass. They're one of the best defenses in the NFL ever since Jalen Ramsey returned. So my personal lean would be to go with Taysom Hill. Persian Assassin, thank you for the super chat. Lineup is Stroud, Henry, Mostert, Brown, Dell, Ridley, Cowboys D, and Aubrey. Got T-Law, London, Javante, Charbonnet on the bench, Diggs on bye. Make any changes. So when it comes to T-Law versus Stroud, I think I would lean with Stroud this week. Stroud has just been very reliable this whole season. And look, I get that Stroud doesn't have the most amazing matchup, but at the end of the day, Stroud has been a much more consistent piece compared to Lawrence. And if they're comparable this week, I'd go with the guy that I feel is a little bit more consistent. Now, when it comes to your other pieces here, you got Henry and Mostert in at running back, and your flex is not a running back. Obviously, it's Calvin Ridley. So what I would do here is I assume Brown is Hollywood Brown, right? That's a safe assumption here, Persian Assassin. If Brown is, it might be AJ Brown. Fuck. Persian Assassin, let me know which Brown. Is this Hollywood Brown? Is this Noah Brown? Is this AJ Brown? Because if this is A.J. Brown, then you've got it all correct. It's A.J. Brown, okay. So then, yeah, you definitely got this correct because you're not playing Javonte over Henry or Mostert. You can't do that. You are not going to play Javonte over Ridley or Dell or A.J. Brown. So what I will tell you is I'll give you a sneak peek here. If Dell is not able to go, then you put Ridley in as your wide receiver 2, and then you put Javonte in as the flex. You can't play London over Brown, Dell, or Ridley. You're not playing Charbonnet over Henry or Mostert. Diggs is on the bye, so you can't play Diggs. This is a good team. This is a very good team. You got a defense that I think's locked and loaded tonight to get a lot of points. I like your kicker. I think you're at a good spot here. The only debate that could be had here is between T-Law and Stroud, but I think you got it correct with Stroud. So this is a really good team. This is a very balanced team. You have a shit ton of great wide receivers. Your running back core is very good as well. So, yeah, I think this is a team. And you got 2 quarterbacks, which chef's kiss Manufuik. So you're in a real good scenario here. This looks like one of those teams that's very heavily balanced. Most of my teams aren't even this balanced. Either I'm loaded at receiver or loaded at running back. You've got a lot of great running backs, great receivers. So this looks like a very good team, Persian Assassin. So I would not make any changes. I think you're set up very well here to make a run at your league's championship and maybe even win that bitch. So that's a very, very good lineup. Again, I wouldn't make any changes. You could debate between T-Law and Stroud, but again, I'm leaning with Stroud. So that's how I feel. Shane, hey, GOAT. Hey, man, thank you. And I appreciate the other super chat as well. Thank you very much. It means the world to me. I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that joins these streams all the time. We're getting ready for the playoffs. Going to try to win all your guys' leagues. Obviously, not everyone's going to win. That's just how the thing goes. There's going to be some crazy things that happen. Some players that get unlucky. Some players that get really lucky. You might win. You might lose because of it. But at the end of the day, we're going to have a fun time every single Thursday, every Sunday on live. So I appreciate you guys watching the stream. So Shane says, PPR start 3 wide receivers: Chase, Lamb, Kupp, DK, Deontay Johnson, Tank Dell, Christian Watson. Flex any of those wide receivers. Defense, Dolphins or Browns. And quarterback, settle with Stafford or Pickett, Minshew, Levis. Great question. So we're going to go backwards. We're going to start at the back. We're going Minshew over Pickett, Stafford, and Levis. I don't like Stafford this week. I don't like the matchup. I think Pickett actually might have a good game, but I don't trust him. I don't trust Will Levis worth shit. Minshew's got a good matchup. You got to go Minshew. Defense-wise, Dolphins or Browns, basically a toss-up. I would go with the Browns because I think the Browns' defense is slightly better. But again, these are both defenses that could get maybe 20 points depending on your league setting. So I would go with the Browns. So we're going Browns. We're going Minshew. And then we are going with start 3 receivers. We are going to go with Lamb. We're going Dell, the farmer and the Dell. Lamb and Dell for sure. And then there's a question here. Do we go with Chase with the shitty quarterback? Do we go with DK with the shitty quarterback? I'm going DK. I'm going... Am I? No, I'm going Chase. We're going Chase. I don't trust DK. I'm going to be honest. I think Geno's is just so bad. Like, his arm is fucked up. So, that's a good, very good question. Very good question. We're going Dell, Chase, Lamb. And then if you needed one to be your flex, it would be DK. And then if Dell doesn't play, you have some outs as well. So we're going Chase, Lamb, Dell, and then DK. Look, I want to play Kupp, but I think you're really taking some risks with Kupp this week. I think he is hurt. I think he's going to play because he's a man, right? He's an alpha male. He's going to fucking play. Those guys that are as skilled as Cooper Kupp will never sit out. Like, unless, like, their arm is fucking falling off, right? He's playing. So, I'm going Chase. Got to go Lamb. Going Dell. And then I'm going DK. That's your answer there. That's a tough one. Then we're going Browns. And then we're going Minshew. I feel very confident in Minshew. It's a good question. This is a very good question. This is a very hard question to answer. But that is where we're leaning. Again, Chase, Lamb, Dell, DK, Browns, Minshew. Thank you for the super chat, Shane. I really appreciate that. And you can rewind if I to be more clear. Alexander, do you think Kyren over Rachaad White even with the matchup? Do you do IDP and Steelers or Browns at defense? Great question. For the defense, I'm going Browns. No, I do not play an IDP. I used to, my first ever league I played in when I was like 8 or 9. I'm almost sure that was IDP. Pretty sure. Maybe my dad remembers because my dad was in that league. Obviously, I was fucking like 9 years old, 8 years old playing fantasy football. My dad taught me how to play, and I think that was an IDP league. If not, that league became an IDP league as I got older. I don't like IDP leagues, mainly because I don't like having a draft that's 20 to 25 rounds with my friends. And I also don't think any of my friends would want to play IDP. Now, again, I'm not shitting on you. If you play IDP, go right ahead. But if you want like some IDP expert to answer your question, maybe Spock knows more than I do. I'm not huge into IDP. There are definitely websites that are good at it, though. So I'm not an IDP guy. I could probably answer some questions for you, but again, it's going to be more surface level than maybe someone else you could ask that question to. So definitely the Browns over the Steelers. And then I do like Kyren Williams over Rachaad White. Now, Kyren Williams and Rachaad White are both must starts in my opinion. But the thing with Kyren Williams is that I really feel like this version of the Rams want to run the ball at a very high rate. They understand that Stafford has been not Stafford this season. Now, again, does Stafford suck ass? Like, are we... No, like Stafford, is it bad? Like, if the Jets had Matt Stafford, they might win the Super Bowl, right? Like, the Vikings would be much better off with Stafford over Dobbs, right? There's a lot of teams like the Browns. If the Browns had Stafford, the Browns would be Super Bowl contenders, right? This is the kind of thing that we're talking about here. So I don't think Stafford's like full on washed, but Stafford hasn't looked as great this season. I think Sean McVay knows that. I think Sean McVay knows that when Kyren Williams has been healthy, look, did I think Kyren Williams was very good entering into the season? No, I didn't believe in Kyren Williams, but Kyren Williams has taken over very strongly. Rolls-Royce Freeman's workload is going to keep getting trickled out, and we're going to see a lot of Kyren Williams. Now, again, I love Rachaad White, but I think Kyren Williams could be the running back one this week. Kyren Williams is that fucking good. He's going to be catching balls, running the ball, scoring touchdowns. I have to go Kyren Williams. Again, even though I love Rachaad White, I have Kyren Williams ranked, I believe, in the S tier, if not the top of the A tier, and Rachaad White's close to the bottom of the A tier. So, personally, I really like Kyren this week. So, I'm going Kyren. I'm going with the Browns defense, and no, I do not play IDP. If you have an additional IDP question, you can ask. Spock doesn't play IDP either. I'm not a big IDP guy. Maybe one day I'll get into it, but it is a very niche thing, right? Like if I was to start making IDP content, not a lot of people are going to watch, right? And again, that would be a lot more research for me to do every single week. I know a lot about the defenses. I know about the players, but again, off the top of my head, I can't tell you how many sacks TJ Watt has, like picks, these points. Like, again, I just don't know off the top of my head. Dolphins or Niners? I'm going Dolphins. Charbonnet or Connor? Charbonnet. Hurts or Dak? Hurts. Ferguson or London? Ferguson. Kirk or Rice? Kirk. Should I panic on Schultz? No. Flex for the week, Laporta, Thielen, or Godwin. Quarterback, Russell Wilson or Baker Mayfield. I would go with, it's a good question. I would go with, let me just do something real quick. I would go with Laporta, Thielen, Godwin. I'd go Thielen, and then I'd go Russ. Mr. Unlimited. 1 second. I'm just trying to late swap my NBA lineups real quick. Here, let's not do that because it makes my whole fucking screen black and I look like I'm living in a cave or something here. Living in a cave like Osama did. Straight bars. 8 cars. Greatest rapper on the internet. Let me just swap my NBA lineups, and then I got to start putting my NFL lineups too. Hurts or Dak? Dak. Would you rather have rest of the season Higgins or Myers? I'd rather have Myers. Nope, I'd rather have Higgins. Myers has been so shit recently. Ramsey. Do you think Dowdle or... Here, wait, the more NBA stuff coming. All right. Do you think Dowdle or Noah Brown this week in the flex? Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, so we're going to have to go to Google for this one. 10,000 Noodles. That is a line from a song. Living in a cave like Osama did. I don't know whose song that is. It's just off the top of my head. It's a rap song. I don't remember whose fucking song it was, but it's a rap song. So let's do a bit of research here. We're going to hop into the Googles here. Noah Brown. Because I haven't looked too much about Noah Brown. Noah Brown still limited on Thursday. Do you have any other options, Ramsey? Do you have any other guys you could swap to if Noah Brown doesn't play? Because if Noah Brown doesn't play, then you're just fucked. So let me know in the chat. Do you have another option? Because if you don't have another option, you're probably just playing Dowdle. So that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. If you don't have another option, with Noah Brown still limited, you're probably just going to have to play Dowdle and hope he scores tonight. So let me know. Let me know, Ramsey. Because that heavily impacts my thought or my answer on this question. All right. 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 You have Dowdle and Gainwell. Okay. So, yeah, you're basically in a scenario where you have to play Dowdle. Again, it might suck. It might really suck. But this is a game that I project might be what we would describe as an ass whooping. So, yeah, everyone else on bye. That makes sense. Again, I'm not making fun of your team. I get it, dude. There are teams in my league where I'm playing against someone, their whole bench is on bye. Like most of their starting lineups on bye. So sucks, but you have to play Dowdle because again, while realistically in a vacuum, if Noah Brown was to play, I would rather have Noah Brown, right? But it's Thursday and Noah Brown was limited. He's missed multiple weeks in a row now. At this point in the season, I can't just pretend that I would rather have someone else. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and go Dowdle. Again, I don't think you have much of a choice. I think you're kind of just locked in. So you got to go Dowdle. Even though, again, I don't love Dowdle tonight. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you guys that I love Rico Dowdle, but that's what I would do. I would play Rico Dowdle. I'm going Dowdle. Mark, thank you for the super chat. Mark's Jefferson top 5 after he returns. I do believe so. Let's see Mark's question. Mark said, I need a tight end. Would you have Freiermuth, Ferguson, or Juwan Johnson? Now, Juwan Johnson is actually a good play this week. I actually like Juwan Johnson, but what I will tell you is that I definitely view the others as a cut above. I think both Ferguson as well as Freiermuth would both be considered risky players. I believe so, right? I think they would be. I don't think anyone in the right mind would say that Ferguson or Freiermuth are the safest of options. Now, Freiermuth went absolutely fucking nuclear last week. He went crazy. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that again. I don't think he's going to be able to do that again. So what I will tell you is that personally, I'm going with Ferguson. Ferguson has been a very reliable piece all season long. Now, Freiermuth has a good matchup. I get it. So it is really close. It's close between the two, but I think I'm just going to go with my gut, and my gut tells me to play Ferguson tonight. I don't think the Seattle Seahawks defense is as good as people say they are. I think the Seattle Seahawks defense is a little bit fraudulent. I think that Ferguson is the answer. Again, I'm not saying that this is a lock, but I'd rather go Ferguson. I just would. I feel a little bit more confident in that take. So we're going Ferguson. I'm waiting for the other questions to load here because my computer's shit in the bed right now. So I just clicked on my DraftKings lineups and it pooped the bed. It pooped the bed. All right. All right, we're back. We're back. And we're better than ever. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're going Ferguson. We are going Ferguson. Eddie J, your question is above. All right, let me look for that. Eddie J. All right, Eddie J's question was, hey, Nick, pick 3 receivers. He's got Amon-Ra St. Brown. He has Cooper Kupp. He has Amari Cooper. He has Josh Downs and Noah Brown. Also, should I drop one of those guys to grab another running back? He has JT, Swift, A-Chain, Wilson. His options are Dearness Johnson, Spears, Roshan. I think you're good with who you got, frankly. So my best bet here would be, and I'm actually just going to pull your question up on the screen. It's way easier to look at that way. I would pick 3 receivers. I would play Amon-Ra, lock him in. Downs, lock him in. And then I'd play Kupp. Because while I don't trust Kupp worth anything, my trust in Amari Cooper is even lower. So my trust in Kupp is it's like here, right? Like here's the top. It's like kind of down here. Cooper is out of the screen. Cooper's sitting on my lap, basically, right? Like out of the screen where you can't see it. So I'd go Amon-Ra, Kupp, and Downs. And I don't think, because I think Noah Brown is too much upside for you to drop him. And he's really the only one you could drop. And I think your running back core is fine, assuming that. Oh, fuck. I forgot. All right, let's think, actually. Let's think for half a second. I think I would cut Noah Brown for Spears in case something happens to Derrick Henry. Because if you have JT and you don't have Moss, you're kind of shit out of luck. So I would drop Noah Brown and pick up Spears. Marcos, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Who do you start? Half PPR, 12-team. Moss, Ramondre, B-Rob, Charbonnet, Chase, Olave, Ayuk, 2-2-1. Great question. All right, so you need 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex. We're going Moss. Moss is a must play. Anyone whose questions are about Moss, 99% of your teams, Moss is a must play. Moss is a must play, must start, hammer out. You're playing Moss, 100%. So after that, it's Moss. It's Ramondre. You got to play Ramondre. Moss and Ramondre, lock them in. Ayuk, Olave, lock them in. And then if Olave doesn't play, you can play Chase, which is fine. All right, so let me just write this down in the chat. It's kind of a big question. So RB1 is Moss. RB2 is Ramondre. Wide receiver 1 is Ayuk. Wide receiver 2 is Olave. If he doesn't play, it is Chase. And then your flex out of those guys is Charbonnet. So there you go. Merry Christmas. I don't actually know, Marcos, if you celebrate Christmas. It's more of a saying. Scroll down here. I said, so it's running back 1 is Moss, running back 2 Ramondre, wide receiver 1 Ayuk, wide receiver 2 Olave. If Olave doesn't play, it's Chase, and then you're flexing Charbonnet. Realistically, you should put Charbonnet in as your running back 2, and then Moss as your flex or whatever, but I hope you got the point there. Your answer's in chat for you, Mr. Marcos. I appreciate the super chat. Much love. What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it. Charles says, see my running back question above also. All right, I'll look for you, Charles. I got you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Only 88% of you guys hit the like button. Come on now. It's fucking free. It's free. Come on. You got to hit that like button. The like button is begging for you to come on over and smash it. Let's be honest with you. All right, so your running back question's above. I'll look at that. 1 wide receiver, not 2, because I'm already starting Amon-Ra. Okay. Olave, Waddle, or Dell? You're going Dell? If Dell does not play, you are playing Olave. Nope, actually. Yeah, if Dell doesn't play, you're playing Waddle, actually. So you're going Dell, but if Dell does not play, you're going Waddle. Okay? And then your running back question. So Dell, and then if Dell doesn't play, it's Waddle. Charles R. Charles, other question. Charles R. I'm sorry, I wasn't making fun of you. It's just what came to my head. I'm a fucking weirdo. All right, let's actually look in here. It's easier to see over here. Charles. Oh, Charles, I only see one question for you. Can you drop your other running back question in the chat? Because I don't see it. Maybe it's just my computer being fucked up, which is entirely possible. My computer is a bit stupid. I'm going to keep looking, though. Pop out the chat. Maybe I'll find it this way. All right. Charles R. Yeah, Charles, I only see your receiver question. So please ask the running back question in the chat. Your receiver is Dell. If Dell doesn't play, it's Waddle. I'll make sure to have the chat open for you. I'll answer it the second I see you ask the question. Again, I apologize. YouTube is stupid sometimes and hides stuff. Mike Hunt, very funny. Smith Najigba Cooks tonight. Is Pitts a bust? Look, Pitt for where you drafted Pitts, yeah, Pitts is a bust. I don't think if I drafted Pitts, I would be like fucking crying myself to sleep or something, because the tight end position is so volatile. Like, you already knew that going into the season. But yeah, obviously it's not the best. Like, Pitts' performance this season has not been great. He's not a guy that's like an ideal start every single week, but he's also not terrible by any means. So yeah, I'm going Pitts. I think Pitts is just a bust, yeah. And then Cooks or Najigba. I'm going Cooks. I don't trust Najigba worth anything. JSN is a good player. JSN is very talented. JSN was my wide receiver 1 in the 2023 NFL draft. JSN is skilled. But what I will tell you is that right now I just trust Cooks more. He has a better matchup, and they're both going to see a similar amount of targets. I think Cooks could score. Again, I'm a JSN truther. I believe in JSN, but he just hasn't been able to do it. So I'm going Cooks. You drafted Pitts 2 years in a row. Yeah. I have never drafted him before until this year, where I really started to believe in him. And of course, I was wrong on that. Ford or Charbonnet? Great question. What's up, Roxford? Great question. I think I'm going to go Ford. Like, I think I just trust Cleveland handing the ball off a little bit more than I trust Seattle. Like, Seattle's in a really tough spot this week up against a defense that I, in my opinion, view to be pretty good. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and lean with, with Ford. I just trust Ford a little bit more. That might sound crazy to you guys, but I really do trust Ford more than Charbonnet. So that's just how I feel right now. That's just how I feel. Ooh. And Charles, make sure you ask your question in chat. I will make sure to get to it. Your running back question. So yeah, it's Ford. It's Ford 100% over Charbonnet. I don't like Charbonnet against the Dallas at all. Rated R superstar, rated R savior. I appreciate you. Charbonnet or JSN? JSN from Dallas plus third CB. Yeah, dude, I don't want to play JSN, man. I just can't do it. I can't play JSN. I don't know what it is, but he's just not getting the ball enough. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand why he doesn't get the ball more, but that's just the scenario we are in right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going Charbonnet. I think Charbonnet is going to get more touches. I think Charbonnet has the ability to bust one off, have a huge run. I think Charbonnet is skilled. Feels like Seattle's going to throw a lot tonight. Yeah, but at the same time, man, Charbonnet is going to get dump offs. Like, at least I could talk myself into Charbonnet busting a huge run off. Like, I don't know if JSN is going to do that. And look, I love JSN. I'm not trying to fucking belittle JSN, but dude, I don't trust him. I just don't. I don't trust him worth shit. I'm playing Charbonnet. I'm playing Charbonnet. I get he's going up against the third Dallas corner, but Dallas is a really good defense. It's not like Dallas just has one cornerback. Like, there's certain teams in the NFL where, yeah, they have one great corner. The rest of the team's a little bit suspect, if we're being honest, right? There are a lot of teams like that, but I would not consider them to be very sus. Yeah, he played 75% snaps last week. I get it. JSN's going to get play time, but if I'm worried about Lockett and DK because JSN's arm is fucked up, I mean, not JSN, Geno Smith's arm is fucked up, like, do I really want to trust anyone else? Like, I just don't. Like, Geno's arm is clearly messed up. So again, if you're more confident in JSN, then be confident, right? Sounds like you want to play JSN, then play him. Again, I'm not here to set every single person's lineup. You got to use your brain as well as mine. We're going together. I feel like Geno is average. That's why JSN has no value. Yeah, he is average, and he's a lot worse than he was last season, right? JSN was a guy last season that was pretty interesting. He's just not this season. He's just not. JSN has been subpar. I mean, not JSN. Geno Smith has been subpar this season. So my answer is Charbonnet over JSN. Nick, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. It means the world to me. Javonte or Cooks half PPR. Any worry on Keenan? I would go Javonte. I am worried about Keenan Allen because anytime you do not practice, that's worrisome, right? Anytime a guy like Keenan Allen, who's up there in age, doesn't practice, yes, it scares me. I am worried about Keenan. Again, we got to wait until Friday, Saturday. Like, I think Keenan will play. Like, I don't think Keenan's a guy that needs to practice every single game in order to play. But of course, yeah, I'm a little bit worried. Like, I'd be lying if I said I was fully confident. That would be a little bit crazy. So we're going to go ahead and play Javonte over Cooks. Javonte is guaranteed to have a very solid workload, where Brandon Cooks has been kind of up and down in terms of his targets. He had that great game a couple of weeks ago against the Giants, then shit the bed. He had a good game on Thanksgiving. Let's see what he can do this week. Again, I don't think Cooks is a bad play by any means, but personally, I would rather play Javonte Williams. And yes, I am worried about Keenan Allen. Again, I think Keenan Allen's going to play, but whenever you read again that a guy's not practicing on Thursday, I start to worry. On Wednesday's practice reports is the most useless thing you could ever read because on Wednesdays, all of the good players are getting their time off, right? They're getting their veteran rest, they're going to go get tugged off at some massage parlor, right? Meanwhile, Thursday when a guy doesn't practice, it's like, oh, fuck, like he might actually miss. And that's the scenario I'm kind of in right now with Keenan Allen. Like, oh, fuck, he might miss. All right, next question here would be from Mr. Rockout with his cock out. Rockout says, survey says, PPR, one running back, one flex, Javonte, Charbonnet, McLaurin, Reed, but questionable. Okay, I am playing. I read the thing about Reed. Reed might miss. Like, Reed is in real danger to miss. I'm just going to avoid the danger here because there is danger with Reed. I'm playing Charbonnet and Javonte. Look, you kind of have to play. Yeah, Nick, they're number one this week. Yeah, you kind of have to play Javonte and Charbonnet because, again, you're in a scenario where if you sit or if you start Reed. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, Spock. I just read it out loud because it said my name. I knew you weren't talking to me. I figured that out by scrolling in like a second. But yeah. But yeah, what I was saying is if Reed misses, you're basically fucked because you don't want to be playing McLaurin, in my opinion. You could play McLaurin, actually. Yeah, you know what? Play Javonte and Reed, and then if Reed doesn't play, just play McLaurin. Because McLaurin isn't that bad of a start. I know he's been bad recently, but I think things could get better for him. So we're going to go ahead and do... We're going to do Javonte and Reed, and if Reed misses, you just play McLaurin instead. Ramsey says, who do I bench for the playoffs? Puka, Tank Dell, Zay, Addison, Downs. Like, you're saying you need to cut someone? Is that what you mean, Ramsey? You mean you got to get rid of someone? I assume. Oh, no, never mind. I get what you mean. I get what you mean now. Never mind. I lied. I'm a fucking idiot. I understand what you mean now. What you mean here is, I think what I would do personally is for the playoffs, I'm benching. I want Tank in. I get what you mean. I want Tank in. Not enough active spots. Okay, so you do want someone cut. If I have to pull the trigger to cut someone, I'm cutting Downs. Zay and Addison have way more upside with Zay and Addison. So I'm making the move to cut Downs. If you have to cut another one, which might be an issue for some people, I am cutting. I think I would have to cut Downs for sure. And if I have to cut another one, I'm cutting Zay Flowers. Because with Odell playing a lot more now, with Odell looking a lot better, that's what I would do. CeeDee Lamb. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut Downs, and if I have to cut another one, it's going to be Zay Flowers. It's tough, but that's how I would do things. Again, cutting anyone like that's tough, but yeah, you need roster spots, so that's fine. So that's A-okay. What a wonderful time of day. All right, next question. Sup, brother? What's going on, man? B Ruckus, I appreciate the super chat. Oh, fuck, my fucking whole screen just shaked. It shook it. I don't know why that just happened. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Next question here. Sup, brother? What's going on? Deontay Johnson or Charbonnet at the flex? Thanks for the great content. Keep on trucking, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to give you 2 answers, which I know some people hate, but I think this is the best way to approach things. What I would do is if I wanted a guaranteed 10 points, I am playing Charbonnet. If you feel like, hey, this is going to be a matchup where I don't want to get cute, right? Where I just want to get my point, not potentially sell my team up the river with a guy getting 2 points, then that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But if you're willing to take more of a risk, right? If you're more of a risky guy, you like taking a little bit more risks, then I would play Deontay Johnson. Personally, I'm playing Deontay Johnson. Again, I get that Deontay Johnson has flat out sucked ass over the last couple of weeks. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he hasn't. But against the Arizona Cardinals, if there was ever a game for him to bounce back, it would be this week. So I'm going Deontay Johnson. But if you want to save points, you can go Charbonnet. Emmanuel says Cooper Kupp or Brandon Cooks. This is a tough one, because I think I would rather just play Cooper Kupp, who's banged up, like a banged up Cooper Kupp over Brandon Cooks. Because again, I'm not going to pretend and sit here like I'm super confident in Brandon Cooks. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Cooper Kupp over Brandon Cooks. Again, I'm worried about both of them. I think I just have a little bit more blind trust in Cooper Kupp potentially bouncing back. I don't love either of them this week, though. But if it's my team, I think I would go with Cooper Kupp. Because, again, even a banged-up Cooper Kupp could get fucking 3 touchdowns in any given game, right? We all know that. So that would be my answer there. It would be Cooper Kupp. Even if it feels a little bit gross, we're going Cooper Kupp. Ridley, Ayuk, pick 3. Oh, 1 second. Ridley, Ayuk, pick 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, pick 3. Hall, Swift, Bijan, Moss. Love the content. Thank you very much, Tyler. I appreciate it. Ridley or Ayuk, I would go. I think I have Ayuk ranked higher, but if I'm being honest with you, I'd probably rather play Ridley. I think I'm going to change that. So I'd go Ridley. I'd go Swift, Bijan, and Moss. So Ridley, Swift, Bijan, and Moss. Moss is a must play. Bijan's a must play. Swift's a must play. Ridley's a must play. Ridley, Swift, Bijan, Moss. I appreciate you. I don't even think I have to break that one down too much. I think you kind of understand that. Gorilla Kid. Pick 2 wide receivers: Deontay, Puka, Lockett, Garrett Wilson, Noah Brown. Great question, Gorilla Kid. Thank you for the super chat. Gorilla Kid, I would go with Garrett Wilson. Lock Garrett Wilson in. Again, I understand that Tim Boyle sucks donkey cock. I fully understand that he's terrible, and I think he's terrible as well. Not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that I think Tim Boyle is very good, but I do think that Garrett Wilson is guaranteed to get a bunch of touches. So after that, we are going to go ahead and go with Puka. I'm going Puka Nacua, and I'm going Garrett Wilson. Lock that in. I like that. You like that? Mike Hunt, I have Wilson, Chase, Cooper, all lost starting quarterback. Yeah, that's tough. That's how it goes, man. Fantasy football is, again, it's a very fun game. I love playing fantasy football. You guys all love playing fantasy football, right? But we all have to just acknowledge how risky it is. Playing fantasy football every single week is a very risky thing. So I would go ahead and just tell you that kind of stinks. And let me just do something real quick, and then the camera will be fixed in half of a second. I'm just doing something real quick. But yeah, it is very annoying. I fully understand that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that fantasy football isn't fucking annoying all the time, because that's just what happens. It's just what happens. Injuries are going to happen. And this year feels like there's a lot more than most years. This year feels like the most amount of injuries I've ever seen in fantasy football, like in terms of quarterbacks. Like normally the quarterbacks are the most likely players to stay the safest, and they're all hurt this year. Like the Giants have gone through 2-3 different quarterbacks. Like the Browns, Watson's healthy, Watson's hurt, Watson's out for the season. It's crazy. It's truly crazy this season. But yeah, I mean, it's just something, a hard pill that we have to swallow, and we got to just hope that these receivers that we drafted are just that good that they're able to mitigate the risk that not having their main guy at quarterback essentially puts them in. Someone just dropped Trey McBride. I have Gerald Everett. Should I pick him up? I would need to start him because I have Hawkinson on bye. Marvin, don't just walk to the waiver wire right now. Run to it. Run to it, because having Trey McBride and Hawkinson, obviously you're playing Hawkinson over McBride every single week, but the fact that you're just able to kind of dangle the fact that you have two tight ends that, in my opinion, are basically must start every single week on your lineup or on your team is very good. Very, very, very good. So what I would tell you is that is what I'm going to do. I am going to go ahead and pick up Trey McBride, drop Gerald Everett, drop him like it's hot. You don't need him anymore. You don't need him anymore. Zach Ertz has been released by the Cardinals, which gives even more reason to believe that Trey McBride could win you your league. Trey McBride has legitimate league-winning upside, and that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. All right, I'm waiting to load the other super chats. My computer is fucking frozen like the movie right now. You guys can still see me, though. It's just there's so many questions from you guys. I appreciate you, Grilla Kid. Thank you so much, man. Thank you guys all for the super chats tonight. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching the stream. So thank you, Gorilla Kid. Rock out with your cock out says, got Olave at second. Do you think he plays? Do I think Olave plays? Look, I'm not a doctor. He practiced today, so my thought would probably be yes that he does play. But again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I think he practiced today. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's like a guarantee that he plays, because again, guys will practice all week. They're out. It happens with the Dolphins all the time. My Dolphins, like the offensive linemen on the Dolphins practice like every single week, and then half the offensive line is out come Sunday. So rock out. I do think Olave will play, but again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it is a guarantee. I do think he plays though. Kathy, Weagle, high-low, photo, and video. Thank you very much. Should I drop Moss for A-Chain? Already have Kyron Williams, Monty, and Eckler for running back. Many thanks. Oh, my God. That is so tough. That is so tough because Moss could be a league winner. A-Chain could be a league winner. Now, Moss is going to be healthy this week. I don't know if A-Chain's going to play. Jonathan Taylor, supposedly out 1 to 3 weeks. You never know with these things, right? There's a chance that he's out for the rest of the season. Now, again, I'm not trying to scare anyone that has Jonathan Taylor, but that is a legitimate possibility. There's a legitimate possibility that Zach Moss is the lead running back for the team down the stretch of the season, and Zach Moss becomes a league winner. Now, you already have a shit ton of running backs. You have Monty, Eckler, Kyron Williams. So what I would do is be a little bit more risky with my ad. And the more risky player here would be A-Chain. So I'm going to take the risk on A-Chain, knowing that, sure, he might screw me over, but A-Chain's a guy, like, I don't think when you have Kyron, Monty, and Eckler that you're ever really considering starting Moss over them. Oh, but you might. And Moss, Moss has a much safer, is in a much safer situation. Oh, man, I don't know. I think I would just hold Moss, if I'm being honest with you. I think I'm going back on what I said. I'm holding Moss. I'm getting that safe play. That's what I'm doing. I'm sticking with Moss. Moss at points in this season literally looked like one of the best running backs in fantasy football. This is a sneaky good Colts offense. I'm going to go ahead and stick with Moss. That's very tough. I had an internal debate 16 times with my brain because it's that tough. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would stick with Zach Moss. It is tough, though. It is tough. Yeah, it does feel gross, Emmanuel. I agree with you. It does feel gross. All right. Lineups. Gorilla Kid, again, thank you for the super chat. I think JT should be back for the playoffs, but again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend directly to you guys that it's a guarantee, because I don't think it is. NBA download. Oh. Sorry, guys. I'm doing 10,000 different things at once. I'm editing all my DraftKings basketball lineups as we speak, because there are a couple of players that got ruled out that were in my lineup, and you just don't want that, right? You just don't want that. Jason says, pick 2. Nico, Javonte, Breece, Hollywood. I'm going Nico and Breece, personally, assuming Breece plays. Now, Nico Collins, if Tank Dell misses, is must-play category. Even if Tank Dell plays, I think that he's must-start. So, definitely would go with Nico and Breece Hall. If Breece Hall misses, then you could just go with Javonte. The Falcons defense isn't all that great, and you match that with the fact that Breece Hall is really fucking good, and Tim Boyle's going to check down the ball to him a million times. I don't think this is going to be a blowout like the Dolphins versus the Jets, where the Dolphins got out to a huge lead early in the second half, and that was just kind of over. I think the Jets and Falcons will be close. So we're going Nico and Breece Hall. Patrick G. Mafia, thank you for the super chat. Says Lockett, Cooks, Hollywood, Algier, pick 1 standard. I would go with Cooks. I would go with Brandon Cooks. I think Brandon Cooks is probably the safest bet out of all of them. I want to play Hollywood Brown. I want to believe in Hollywood Brown, right? Oh my God, he had such a good game last week. I just don't fucking believe. I don't believe in him. I really don't. And I would like to, but I don't. I believe more in Brandon Cooks. So that's the way we're swinging things here. And I don't really trust Lockett either. So we got through all the super chats. You have 4 players on bye. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. That's how the season goes, though. It's weird this late in the season to have bye weeks. I always thought it was weird that week 13, the week before, 2 weeks before the fantasy playoffs, that there's this many teams on bye. I've always thought that was weird, but that's just how the cookie crumbles nowadays. Nick, which kicker do you like this week? Groupie, or whatever that guy's name is for the Saints. 49ers, Dolphins. Oh, you're talking about the kicker. Okay, from these teams. Yeah, Detroit kicker did fuck us over last week. I would play the 49ers kicker out of all those. Pick 3, A-Chain, Henry, Moss, Monty, Kyron, Nico. I'm playing Moss, Monty, Kyron. If Goff's passing has really became an afterthought, that is unfortunate. Early season, he looks like an elite quarterback. Now he's a frightened deer. I don't think he's frightened. I don't think he's scared by any means. What I think has happened is that the offensive line is so good. Later, Brian. The offensive line is so good at blocking for the run. They are so effective with the 1-2 punch of Gibbs and Montgomery that it almost does become an afterthought to even throw the fucking football, right? Because they don't need to throw. They do not need to throw. Obviously, every team needs to throw. You get what I mean, though. Their game plan doesn't need to be, hey, let's throw the ball every 4 seconds, right? So that's kind of what happened. Should I hold Tucker through the bye? I am. I have Tucker on my team. I'm holding him. I know it kind of sucks, but I am holding him. Dude, I have so many tabs open. I don't know why this is taking so long. I don't know why it's taking so long to generate my lineups here. I'm 8-4, and I'm in first place. I owe you a debt of gratitude. No problem. Happy to see you guys winning. trying to late swap my NBA lineups, and it ain't working right now. Tools, NBA. Fuck. We're entering into it getting too late to late swap, and I have a couple guys that are out. NBA, DraftKings. Continue. 1 second, guys. Because I don't want to burn a bunch of money because I got a couple guys out. It's a tough scene right now. And my computer's shit in the bed. That's per usual. Oh, we got the bots here. The bots, as per usual, showing up late at night. You guys got any more questions here? Hit me with the questions. Hit me with the questions. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Fire away. All right, all right, all right. And I got 10. This is just brutal. When you going live again, my man, on Sunday. Sunday. DeRozan's out, so I'm just going to swap DeRozan with someone else if this decides to not want to work for me. If it doesn't want to swap for me. Lockett, Reed, or Watson. I'd go Reed. My hands are kind of tied this week due to the bye. If A-Chain plays, I'm going A-Chain. If not, Connor. Lockett, DK, or Downs. I'm playing DK. All right, let me just fucking manually swap here because this is taking forever. I don't know what's going on here. Fields or Goff. Rest of season, Fields. I would try to keep both, though, if I'm being honest. All right, we're just going to flex to this guy. Assign the lineup. Oh, of course it decides to work now, all right? Wait for it. All right, whatever. We'll just assign the lineup. There we go. All right. Back to throwing in NFL lineups here. All right. Say the Las Vegas Raiders for the one time. The Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry for screaming in your ear. Wasn't trying to. Connor and Hollywood trade for Pittman. Do that right now and get Pittman. A.T. Perry or Dortch? Dortch. Rather have Dortch. Would much rather have Dortch. Pop popular. Myers. Jackson Smith Najigba. Would you start Chardonnay today or wait if Cooper plays if Schultz doesn't? Yeah, I would just play Charbonnet, to be honest with you. I don't want him to play him at all, but I would just not risk that, if we're being honest. Trying not to risk it. Not trying to risk it for the biscuit. Andrew, thank you for the super chat again. Did you leave another question in chat? Make sure you're... No problem, DC. Oh, man. Just so you guys know, I'm never playing NBA DFS again while I'm live streaming. I completely... forgot that I needed to swap a bunch, and it fucking took ages off my life trying to do this while streaming. I'm doing like 10,000 things while talking. I'm like a professional, you know? I'm talking to you guys. I am making NFL lineups. Doing everything all at once. All for you guys. Smash that like button. Like it owes you money. All right. All right. Did Andrew have another question? Andrew Ray. Did Andrew say anything else? Oh, Rico or DiMarcado? Oh, Rice or DiMario? Never mind. Holy fuck. Am I dumb? Why that? What the hell is wrong with me? Rice or DiMatteo? I would go with Rice. DiMattio's banged up. I know Rice is kind of hit or miss, but he is really the only wide receiver on the Chiefs that is somewhat trustworthy. Like, it's so crazy that the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, this generational quarterback, right? This quarterback that is like could be the greatest quarterback ever, right? All of these accolades. Everyone gives this guy the Gawk 9000 special. And then ultimately at the end of the day, they just don't have any weapons. So that's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's just how I feel. All right. I need to put in my first touchdown bets, but I don't have enough time to do all this shit all at once. See, I'm going Rice. I'm doing too much at once, guys. Too much at once. CeeDee Lamb. Dak. Oh, I had a job interview today, guys. I always talk about my real life as well, outside of, just the fantasy shit. I did do really good at my job interview, so that was very promising. Fucking murdered that shit. Bang, bang. Charbonnet or 2 Chainz? I'd go Charbonnet because I don't know if 2 Chainz going to play. Are Pollard and Cooks good starts tonight? Yeah, Pollard's a good start. Cooks is an okay start. Why do I feel like Lockett will put up numbers when I bench him tonight? Lockett is the definition of exactly what you just said. Lockett's the kind of guy that for weeks you play. You endure the wide receiver 50. You endure the wide receiver 60. You enjoy, or you just endure it. You just get basically bent over a table by it. And then the second you finally realize, you know what, pal? I'm done with you. You know what, pal? I don't want you anymore. Then you know what happens the second you give up on that poor bastard? You know what he's going to do? He's going to drop 30 fucking fantasy points on your head top. Now, Tyler Lockett is not in a single one of my DFS lineups. And you know what that tells me? That Tyler Lockett is going to turn into fucking Superman tonight. Tyler Lockett is going to go absolutely nuclear. And I'm going to be left with empty pockets. And I'm going to be sad. But guess what? That's what fantasy football is. It's an experience that has the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And I think what we might experience tonight might be a low. It might be an all-time low, like that song by John Bellion, or whatever his name was. But yeah, that's just how it goes. DJ. Playing a lot of DJ Dallas tonight in case anyone plays DFS. So that's going to go well, right? Did Spock ever take over the captain's chair? I have never watched Star Trek. I know who Captain Spock is. I know about Star Trek. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've never heard of fucking Star Trek before. That would be a lie. You know what's funny, Spock? If you send me your address, I would like to send you a Christmas gift because I did find, as long as you celebrate Christmas, I actually don't know if you celebrate Christmas or not, but I would like to send you a Christmas gift because I found something for you at the store the other day, but I don't have your address, so I would have no idea. Obviously, I'm not telling you to send your address in the chat here. That would be absurd. But if you want to email me your address, Spock, I will send you a gift because I do have something for you that I found at the store. Now, again, I didn't buy it yet. I'm going to have to go back and buy it. But I do have something I want to give you. All right, I'm just putting my first touchdown score bets, and then before it locks, because the first touchdown always locks so early for some absurd reason. It always locks so early. I don't know why it does that. There we go. Boom. There we go. Alrighty. All right. Time to put the rest of my DFS lineups in here. Well, I also answer your guys' questions, so don't worry. We're not leaving. I'm not leaving anyone here. All right. My shit's frozen right now. I'm sure you guys can still see me, though. That's just how this normally goes. I'm talking, but I can't see myself. All right, Ferguson or okay. All right, should I start the Cowboys D or the Bucks? I'd play Cowboys D personally. I would play Cowboys D. Why do I feel? I do think I agree with you. Charbonnet or Mostert? Mostert. Eckler, Hall, Charbonnet, Connor start 3. Eckler, Hall, and Charbonnet. Dak or Hurts? Hurts. Nick drop 1. Brown, Hollywood, Flowers, Ford, Mixon. I would drop Noah Brown. I don't even think you need to ask that question. I think you knew that too. I think you knew you need to drop him. Born to be popular. All right. Hey, Nick, have the Dallas defense, but the Falcons and Bucks are available. Would you make any changes? I would play Dallas. Don't get cute with the Dallas defense this week. Like the Dallas Cowboys have, like the Seahawks offense isn't very good. Like I know they have Metcalf, they have Lockett, they have all these high-skilled players. The defense is not that good. I mean, the offense is not that good. Geno Smith is playing terrible. Now, I finally last year gave in to everyone who said that, Nick, you were so wrong about Geno Smith. You said Geno Smith sucked, this, that, and the other thing. So I gave in. I was like, you know what? Maybe everyone was right. You know what? Maybe I was just very wrong on Geno Smith. Maybe Geno Smith is good. And you know what? I bought into Geno Smith this year. And you know what I will tell you? Geno Smith is exactly the guy that I thought he was entering into last season. Geno Smith isn't all that great. Now, obviously, there are certain teams that would want him. Again, the Jets. The Jets would do disgusting things to get him, right? Of course they would. But Dak Prescott is not the guy that a lot of us thought he was going to be this season because of how good he looked last season. So it's kind of tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but that's where we're at here. That is where we are at here. All right. Thank you for the super chat. PV, who do I start between Swift, Henry, and Pollard? Flex between the running back you didn't choose and Nico Collins. That's a hard question. Now, my answer to that question is you're locking in Pollard and you're locking in Swift. Now, Henry is a guy that is, I talk about this all week, but Henry is a guy that is heavily game script dependent. If the Titans are in the game, then Henry is probably going to have a good game. But if Henry is shitting the bed, or if the Titans are shitting the bed, then Henry's kind of not doing the most, right? He's not going to get enough touches. So what I would do personally is I would start Pollard and Swift and then Collins. Pollard, Swift, and Collins would be my answer to that equation. Why Collins? Because I think if Dell plays or Dell doesn't play, he is one of the safest players that you can have. Who am I missing here? Oh, Jason. Oh, wait, hold up. Yeah, so definitely got to go Pollard, got to go Swift, and then I would go Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins is kind of a must-play receiver at this point in the season. Now, he's not as much of a must-play as Tank Dell, because if I had Tank Dell and I had Collins, I would rather play Tank Dell. But for most teams that don't have both of them, of course, like that's like a luxury, right? Having both of them, I would definitely play Nico. So Nico, Swift, and Pollard is my answer to that one. Brandon Cooks or A-Chain. If those are your only options, Citrus Blade, you have to play Brandon Cooks because A-Chain might not play. But if you have other options and you can afford to maybe eat a potential L, then I would play A-Chain. Like if you have another option that you could pivot to. That's what I would say. I hope I helped all you guys out tonight. Jalen Hurts or Dak? Again, I'm going Jalen Hurts. I understand that Dak has been on fire, but so has Jalen Hurts. Benching Jalen Hurts is getting way too cute, in my opinion. Jalen Hurts has been one of the best quarterbacks this season. Jalen Hurts is going to probably get pushed into the end zone multiple times. He's like a walking touchdown. He scores every single week. I just couldn't do it. I just could not sit him. Again, I get Dak's playing great. I just could not sit him. I just wouldn't be able to do it. I just would not be able to do it. So that's what we're doing. All right, I got all my DFS lineups in. So now it's time to edit my fantasy lineups. Oh, fuck, I almost dropped my phone on my foot. Good night, I can fix your copier. Good night. Citrus Blade, Christian Watson, Brandon Cooks, A-Chain. There you go. There you go. So what you're going to do is you're going to start A-Chain, and then if A-Chain doesn't play, you're going Christian Watson. The question answered itself. You're going to play A-Chain, and if A-Chain doesn't play, then you play Watson. It's very easy that way. All right. Thank you very much for the super chat, Mr. Singh. Eckler, Ramondre, Gibbs, Montgomery, pick 3. Pick 1, Reed, Downs, or Lockett, full PPR. All right, I'm going Reed as the flex, and if Reed doesn't play, you just pivot to Downs. At running back, you're going Eckler, Gibbs, and Montgomery. Eckler, Gibbs, and Montgomery. That's what we're doing. That's the way we're going tonight. Tonight, we're gonna party on the rooftop, top of the world. So we're going Eckler, Ramondre. Oh, fuck. Wait, let me check my rankings really quick. So lock in Reed over Lockett. Just lock that in. Because then we can go for slightly longer. So lock in Reed over Lockett. Then my rankings. Yeah, you got to go with both Lions running backs. So you're going Gibbs, Montgomery, Eckler, Reed. That's how we're doing things. And then final super chat here. It's going all the way down. Wait, did we get another one or no? I think we got another one, but it's not loading on my computer for some reason. Oh, fuck. Fucking A. I don't know why my computer's doing this to me. Hates me. All right, I'm waiting for the questions to load. But yeah, Eckler, for sure. You got to play Eckler. You got to play Gibbs. You got to play Montgomery. So Ramondre ends up being the sit. And then you got to play Reed. So that's where we're going. That's the way. I like it. Ferguson or wait for McBride. I would play Ferguson. And then, yeah. All right. So I think we got everything in. That was very tough. A very tough scene. All right. Let me make sure I got all my lineups in correctly here. I don't think I have anyone on these teams. Except for CD. I got CD in like every single league. Sit 1, Mixon, Singletary, Charbonnet. Sit Singletary. In regards to Lockett, are you think it's going to be low of lows with him? Would you play? I would play Lockett over Dotson. It's basically just a guess every single week with Lockett. There's no rhyme or reason to why you'd want to start Lockett or to why you'd want to sit him. So, yeah, I'm probably playing him like over Dotson. Again, it's a straight up fucking guess. It is a guess with him every single week. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's a guarantee with him. Every single week is the same shit. So we're going Reed, Gibbs, Montgomery, Eckler. That's true. That's true, Tyron. Shout out to Underdog. We are very close. I am very close to hitting a certain amount of people signing up to Underdog to where it would give me a bonus. So if you guys do sign up, I would appreciate that. If you're new. Charles, I didn't see a running back question. I don't know why the fucking never showed up. I was looking for it the whole entire night, and it never showed up. But yeah, Pollard, you have to play Pollard. You can't bench Pollard. I don't know why it's not showing up. Charles. I really apologize. The only question that showed up for me was your wide receiver question. Again, it's something that YouTube does sometimes. What YouTube does is they ban certain shit in the chat. So like if you put like a certain like symbol or something, it fucks it all up. Again, it has nothing to do with you. I apologize. I hope you played Pollard. Again, I really do apologize. If you can send in the chat now, I really apologize. I don't know why it does that. It's so annoying. That's just how it goes. Because YouTube sometimes sucks like that. All right. Today's Thursday. So we got Amazon Prime tonight. Okay. I see it now. So I would play Pollard, Kamara, and Bijan. Yeah. Pollard, Kamara, Bijan. I'd even play all those over Kyler. So that would be my answer there. Again, sorry that the chat fucked you up. I don't know why it does that. But that would be my answer. My answer would be Pollard, Kamara, Bijan. That's the way we go. That is the way we go, baby. Nick, if you got a second, look at the bet. If you don't, it's all good. Yeah, I'll take a look. And then we're going to go watch the game. Yeah, send it to me on Twitter. I got to answer a Patreon question real quick. Yeah. In Superflex, you'd go Kyler over those guys? I don't even think I'd play Kyler over those guys, if I'm being honest with you. All right. Your whole bench is on bye besides Ridley. Yeah, that's how it goes. Fantasy is so annoying like that. I don't know why they do that all the time. I don't know why they do that. Oh, I see myself on Tyron's screen, which is funny. That looks good. That looks good to me. That looks good. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys joining into the stream today. It really helps me out a ton. I love you guys. Evil Rooster, you got a question? Did I not answer your question? Is that what you said? K-bye. Yeah, the old school uniforms for the Seahawks are sick. Ferguson or Hill? I'd play Ferguson. All right. So we're getting out of here. We're exiting the stream. I really appreciate all you guys that watched today. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. Again, thank you guys all for watching today's stream. It means the world to me that we have this many people every single Sunday. I mean, every Thursday, also on Sunday is always cool. We had 31 super chats tonight, which is very nice. I like, so I do appreciate it. Maybe, Tyron, maybe you'll be able to afford one now. All right. Love you guys. I really appreciate you all. Good luck to everyone tonight. See you guys on Sunday. There'll be a video tomorrow, but I'll see you guys on Sunday. Have a great one, as always.